Oh, Amina.
Hey,
That's my
Amina.
big fan. We are live.
Oh, are we? Did
Mhm,
you hit it?
I did.
Yay! Did we say Happy President's Day? Happy
I
Obama
guess.
Day. Is it Obama Day? Happy Obama Day.
Oh, we can't say I don't Bible. You so silly. I
I don't got
forgot
no
what
lips
holiday it
on.
was.
Huh?
I forgot what holiday it was.
That's why we ain't at work. Okay, I gotta put on some lip gloss, y'all. I just realized I ain't got nothing on. Anyway, so hello, everyone. We are live. It's your girls, Montique, Dr. Joy, pre-PhD, and Callie. We are here to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 7, reunion part 1. So, how is you doing, Callie? How are you?
I'm good. I just left the gym. I worked out very hard by not working out at all. I just watched everybody else. hmm
Did
And
you
so I'm good.
did you see all the hard bodies?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
They saw mine too and how well I was sitting.
What about you, Joy?
What?
What did you do today? Did you just chill? I like the white.
Absolutely nothing.
I like the white. It's kind of like standing out on your hair.
hmm
On my head. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Looks really good. I got my eyebrows done, so y'all won't call me Sesame Street like Deborah
Oh,
and
and your nails. Let me say.
my nails. So I was like,
Oh,
y'all ain't gonna talk about me because I have them thick eyebrows like she does too. But anyway, so what did you
No,
all think?
you don't.
I do. I do.
Oh, wow.
I get them threaded, so that's why y'all don't know. But what are y'all do? Oh, we got some people talking. Anyway, how would you rate the episode? I'm gonna share it, but I'm gonna let y'all rate it first. Who wants to go first?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was. I'm giving it a 9.5.
Oh, that's good for you,
wow.
Callie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up there. I thought it was probably one of the best
Mm-hmm.
first part 1
Uh-huh.
episodes in a long time.
It really
Because a lot
was.
of times let me turn my TV down. I'm sorry, it just popped out of nowhere. But a lot of times the first parts don't really have much. It's a bunch of fluff.
Right.
So this one I thought they did a good. So I'm with Callie. I would give it near perfection. It was a nine and
Oh,
a half, 10. It was really good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Tori gave it a 10, and y'all some hard critics, so it must have really been good. I give it about a 9. I felt like it kept me entertained. I will say that. And I kept like taking notes. So I was like, this is really, really good. I haven't shared anything. Okay, so let me start from the beginning, then I'll share it. What do you think about the ladies and them getting ready and Andy saying stuff? Joy, you didn't think he said it something to who?
Oh, I don't. Well, it wasn't the getting ready part. It was when they first sat down. You know how Andy sits down. He says, "Hi, so and so. You
Mm-hmm.
looking good today." He might mention something.
Yeah,
Is this happening? Whatever. He didn't do Giselle
But
at
he
all.
did. Yes, he did.
he
He
did.
did.
Kelly said he
I sent
did.
you the video.
It didn't air on my TV
I I
because
did.
I'm sitting up here watching it again. Because I
I
said,
sent
"Am
you the
I
video.
tripping?"
He went to Ashley first, and
Yes.
then but he went to Giselle right after. Yeah, he did it.
I
Okay.
thought if he didn't, they must have skipped it because I think he talked to everybody. I felt like, and I'm not being mean, but did y'all think Karen got new teeth?
I
She got,
couldn't
or
I
she didn't
couldn't
have them
focus
in?
on anything. I couldn't focus on anything except the procedures or something she must have had to make her look just like
Right.
that little mutt thing.
Oh,
Like
let me.
20. What's the name?
Oh, I got it. Should I put it up? No, I'm not gonna
Well,
do it.
no, you don't. But I didn't notice her teeth. I didn't
I
see
mean,
her
you
teeth
know how
much.
when your well, I don't know. Do y'all remember when y'all grandmama didn't have teeth and they used to do that?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's what she kept doing. So I'm thinking maybe she getting used to her teeth, but maybe I'm just wrong.
Oh,
Okay.
I know one thing. These people look.
what?
Karen is a good looking woman. Her body
Yeah,
for a
her
60
body's
year
good.
old is bad. I don't care with no surgeries, whatever. So her body
Ooh,
looks
let me turn
good.
it down.
But she needs to stop getting whatever surgery she's getting on her face
She
because it's
does.
getting weird looking. It's getting real Muppet like. And Karen is not a bad looking woman at all.
Do
Like
you think?
at all.
Not
But
at
I
all.
don't know who she trying to keep up with, but she needs to stop. because it's starting to look deformed. And she's not a bad looking woman. I hate when older women, you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. She looks good on its own face.
Well,
It's
but let's
just
be honest though. If she didn't keep up with the Joneses or tried to, we wouldn't want her on the show. She let her body look more snatched than those 30-year-old girls.
Oh, her body. I
Her
said
body.
She's
that.
about her face, not her body.
I ain't talking about her
I
body.
just had to pick out the one part I thought was good, which is the body. But she's
Yes,
gonna
her
always try
body
and stay. Yeah, she's gonna try and stay in the game because of who she's working with. Come on.
I don't know, but
her body is doggone near perfect.
Right. She got a great shape.
I can't remember who, because I ain't even really trip off of it. But this season she had on, I think that was when they were in Miami, when it was supposed to be that dinner night, and all of them wore white.
That white dress.
Karen looked good in that
She
dress.
looked very good in
I
that
mean,
dress.
when I say good, she looked good.
But
Well, she was 30.
Legs.
She was
they
30.
legs, well, you couldn't see Gizelle's legs, but the people whose legs you could see, did they look like real shine? Like Karen's legs look the color of Teresa. I'm not talking about your
all
girl.
of them. You talking about
Ashley had on, I don't know if it was Crisco oil or what. It was just too much going on last night. She looked greasy. I would have been scared to touch her.
I feel like Karen's eggs look orange like the Jersey girls. Like she
and her lace around her
let
wig
me say
looked
this.
red. What was that?
Yeah.
Is that makeup?
It was red. Somebody pointed it out. I didn't show it though.
I got to the part where you're saying that he went to Gizelle. He actually didn't. Let me tell you what happened. Ashley, he was talking to Ashley, and Wendy said something about the tea, about hooking up with whoever that guy is, that
Jason.
Ashley was the gateway to hook up with that guy. Well, then he asked Gizelle about that, but he never said, "Hi, Gizelle. How are you? What's going on?" It was about that guy.
Do you think it's because Wendy kind of interjected? Okay, so did y'all notice that Gizelle still ain't said nothing to Wendy, even at the reunion?
I said that. That's why I said, when people say that Gizelle don't have, this is how I know that somebody like Gizelle has to be on every single housewife. Gizelle, if it had been any other person beefing, not Gizelle and not Wendy, because they're not talking, so I'm not talking about them, there's no way Gizelle wouldn't have made sure they had a conversation. So that tells me that all those other cast members almost are at like a derelict of duty. Like, there's nobody that cared enough to say, yo, y'all gonna sit here all season and not talk?
That's crazy.
Just think what Gizelle did with Karen and Sharice. Like, yeah, I want to know what you're mad at. Ain't nobody said nothing. Nobody.
I don't understand
this whole season. And people can say, well, they tried. No, they didn't. First of all, there's no way you're going to convince me. Wendy thought saying that whole thing with Gizelle at the beginning was a way for them to talk. Had they talked privately, because Wendy had gotten so personal, I think things would have gone way different. She could have invited her to lunch, and they could have had a grown folks conversation.
You mean without the cameras?
No, it could have been cameras, but Wendy could have invited her to lunch, because in my opinion, it shouldn't have been Gizelle.
But you think Gizelle would have attended the lunch?
I don't know, but she could at least say, you know what, we got to stop it.
Yeah.
At least she would have, at least we could say she made an attempt. Because watching this show, like Real Talk, Wendy could have been a friend.
Yeah, this season she could have been a friend.
She could have been a friend. She could have been a friend. I ain't saying that they got to be besties, but you call her up and say, look, this got to stop. Somebody got to pull their tail between their legs. And I say it should be Wendy, because Wendy was on Gizelle. She was offended. Both of them were offended, but Wendy got personal, in my opinion, in a way that may have crossed the line.
I think it's sad. I don't think that they're gonna mend. I just don't.
I don't say that they gotta make amends. Ain't nobody saying that they gotta be cool. But two cast members of 6 or 7 can't ignore each other from one season to the end. It just shouldn't happen like that.
Well, can you remind me what was the beef? What's the beef? What happened?
The beef comes from last season when Wendy legitimately felt like Gizelle kind of stabbed her in the back by bringing rumors that she heard in the blog without mentioning the rumors. Because let's be crystal clear.
Okay,
She
so
did
we
not
really
say one
this
rumor.
is still
She
from
just
last
said,
season.
I think it's
Yes.
more on her
Wow.
saying the God thing. I think that's what got her, was when she said, God, what you doing now is what
God
God
is
has
paying
or
you
something.
back.
I don't
And
think,
her,
yeah, and the girl
and her
thing.
children.
And her
That
children.
your children don't even want to be. I think that it was,
Yeah, I
it
think-
got there, you know, again, Gizelle did not mention one detail from these rumors, but that rumors were out there.
So I feel like they can make it without talking. I don't like it. I really like when everybody's able to kind of talk and banter.
It messes up the show.
Yeah, but I
It
think
messes up. This is the part that makes this so awkward, because this is a friend group. And one of the things that irritates me, particularly about this cast, is that nothing is resolved by reunion. My whole
yeah,
thing is, you would pretend like you done made up. Hug it
I
out.
don't want to
Let them
resolve
be
it.
offended, because you know whoever then said something stupid, they gonna say something stupid this season.
Yeah,
So you could, it's just like, it's kind of like Ashley and what's her name, Candice. They can come to some grounds at some point, and they have been at each other for years at this point. But it seems like at some point they can kiki. Wendy and Gizelle can't. And a
yeah.
lot of it has to do with, I think Gizelle would be willing to have a conversation. She was open to it and said it.
Well,
She
Wendy
actually
said she was
said
going to, and she never did. They never talked. But
it.
I don't know. Do you think everybody's going to come back the next season?
Well, I really hope that Mia comes back. I mean, because
She needs the money, right?
yeah, and she's a good for the show. I really hope she comes back. She
I like
does. She
Mia.
needs some support. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, on our TikTok, didn't she have the highest views, Callie? What did you post? And people,
Yeah.
it was like high.
Oh, she was on an interview with Gossip. Yeah, and that thing got over 50,000 views.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, there were a lot of
fast.
people that
It's
wanted to
probably
hear
more
her.
now. I mean, it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
immediately. It just got views. So I was sitting there like,
Mhm.
wow. Okay, anyway, let's get to this. Everything we say is allegedly. I forgot to say, entertainment purposes only. Like, subscribe. It's good for our algorithm. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So, what did you think that Candice dress looked like? Sesame Street, like Cookie Monster?
Well, no, I didn't think that initially, but I did like when she said, "How do you know it wasn't by design?" I mean, I like Candace. She's like, "Look here, look at that look on Joy's face. How do you know
Joy
it wasn't by design?" Yeah, and she went with it. She said, "Yeah, it's because of Cookie Monster." She just took it before anybody could really go further with her in the shade. I love her.
Oh, they said Tori said people only tune in because people want to know what she lie about. I mean, it does make people look, though. They want to know, what is Mia going to lie about?
Yeah.
Actually, it's so strange that she has a reputation to lie, because she has been so transparent.
Oh, certainly.
I mean, she gives you information. So I really don't think she purposely lies. I just don't believe. And it's not even like she stands in them. Like, she could repeat something, and what she does is misinterpret or misunderstand or jumps the gun. And then,
I mean, yeah, well,
you'll say something to her, and she'll be like, "Oh, okay." She don't even, how, like, if you gotta lie, you believe it, you stand on it. That's not what I heard.
Yeah.
She never does that. She just like, "Oh, okay."
That's what I heard.
Tell a little lie here and there. I like that about her, but clearly the biggest liar is Karen. So maybe that's why everybody knows Mia lies, but don't really trip a lot. They like, yeah, Mia, what you lying about today?
That's what I say. Yeah, I think Mia, because Gizelle summed it up best, and people were mad because Gizelle was like, well, it seems like your brother-in-law thought you were taking money. She said embezzlement or whatever. But
Okay,
it was
that
funny
was shady as heck.
because all the clips they showed was just of Gizelle, but they didn't show the clips of everybody laughing at her. She getting mad at people, them questioning things. And it was just to clarify, your brother thought you was taking money. That's why you ain't there no more. That's basically what happened, right?
Literally.
Literally.
And she was actually
we just gonna
answering
throw
the question.
embezzlement out there. We just gonna throw embezzlement out there like that. I thought that was really
I mean, half the people don't know what embezzlement means, but everybody was thinking they must be stealing money for them to close all of their accounts. You have to remember that Mia put this out there. She said that not only did they take the salary away, they have no access to money. And we knew that they had just moved. We did because of because by then I think she had already been doing interviews.
She's been doing like walkthroughs of her house, like on Bravo,
right?
Whatever it's called, Bravo Insider. Yeah.
So I guess my point is, the average person thought about it. The average person said they must not be doing the money right. At least that.
We said it on our show, and that's why I said it's like people get mad because Gizelle, she did make me a little mad at some things, but they get mad because she says stuff we say in the groups, and it's okay, I guess, to say it in the groups, but don't say it on the show. And so I don't understand some of the stuff, but the Chris thing I didn't like what she did. What do you think about Gizelle and this guy? Would you ask out a younger guy? Or a guy in general?
She didn't ask him out. She just told her friend that she was interested. I mean, that ain't no different.
Asking him out.
I feel like it is.
I definitely don't think so.
It is.
I mean,
you're reaching out to the guy to show your interest.
She didn't, though.
She did. She had Ashley say, tell him you're interested.
But that's no different. I guess in my head, first of all,
Well, she did say, will you go with me? Yes, no, maybe.
I guess in my head, I would never approach a guy. I ain't never approached no man my entire life. But I have been with your girl. I've been with amongst my girlfriends, and my girlfriend would say, hey, you like my friend over there. You know, da-da-da-da-da. You know how you play wingman for your girl. Right. And it's still up to him if he's interested to respond. I don't see that as an approach of a guy.
Joy.
I just see that as approach of, hey, you see me, right?
But it's still the same thing. He still could have said no.
It's the same thing.
He could have. He didn't even have to say anything. The average guy would have been like, oh, okay. And that's it. He ain't gonna tell the girl. Alpha's not gonna tell the girl anything. The alpha is either gonna reach out, and if you think about it, it's not like Ashley passed the number. He didn't have her number. He didn't call Ashley. How easy would it be for him to tell Luke, "Hey, get her number"? He didn't.
There's no need to get anybody's phone number. I talk to y'all all day, and I don't know y'all phone numbers.
Right.
We don't need to get our phone numbers nowadays.
But he inboxed her on whatever.
Yeah, he DM'd her.
Yeah, he did.
That's my point is,
I don't think anything's wrong with him.
Go through the means in which she rang the bell.
Like, I mean, would you expect him to go through the means of dating his mother?
What?
Would you expect him to go through the means of dating his mother?
Girl, you getting weird. Okay.
That's not weird.
Got an Oedipus complex?
Do I think he what?
Has an Oedipus complex? Oedipus dated his mother. Okay.
No.
First of all, I don't think they're really dating. I think they kind of like
they are either.
Killing.
But what I'm saying though is for someone that young to reach out to somebody else on their shared network to go out with, would you automatically expect the younger dude to go out with the Karen?
I don't think he felt like Gizelle would even want to date him. So I feel like she had because.
So he wouldn't ask her. So that's what I'm saying.
We're on the same page, Callie.
But I also think he would have thought that Gizelle was out of his league.
Right. Like, I don't think he thought that she.
Yeah, I think he would have thought she's out of his league.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think we're saying the same things. No reason.
We're saying the same things. But that ain't even the question I asked. I asked, would y'all do it?
No.
No, okay.
I've done it before, but yeah. Mhm.
I don't see anything
Not
wrong with
now.
it. I think it's pretty ballsy, and I feel like I
Yeah,
like
I mean,
it.
I've done it before. So
I
baby.
do think they look good together. You're right, Tori. Oh, yeah, it's nothing wrong with her reaching out to
She
him.
did reach out to him. I don't even know why
Yeah.
we want to try and make it sound like something different.
Hey,
Hi,
Pat.
Ty.
All right. So, what do y'all think about Ashley falling in love with Luke?
Okay, let's discuss the calendar. How long has what is that? How long now? When did this happen?
I don't
Has her
know.
and Michael been separated or going through divorce now for about a year or less?
Probably no, because I think they had to be separated a year before they could even get divorced.
Yes,
Okay, so she
February.
said she
So
can get
yeah.
divorced
Oh,
in February.
February.
Okay,
Yeah.
She
so
can
it's the
file in
year.
February. So February would be, but I tend to think that it's not a day switch when you are when somebody decides to file legal separation. In other words, it's not a singular event. There's been a accumulation of events. And maybe Michael and Ashley have been distant for a minute. So she may have been kind of starving. I think a lot of people after a big breakup are kind of starving
For
after
what?
that breakup.
Attention,
For,
love,
love,
affection.
affection. They want to feel validated. A lot of women who, when you're married, and Michael is a powerhouse. She was defined. Her life has, let's be honest, he was a come up. She
Mm-hmm.
defined her life. Her life is because she married him. Let's be honest. It's
So, do you
not
think
that
it was Luke's young balls that made her?
I'm sure it was. I bet you
Mhm.
she because see, Michael think he kicking it
Right. Michael
with
think
that
he got it.
with that Viagra or whatever
Uh-huh.
Cialis or whatever's on the
Uh-huh.
market today. But Luke ain't. He don't need that,
Right.
and he's at a right age.
Mm-hmm.
He's old enough to know his way around a woman's body, and young enough to have a little stamina. So
Mm-hmm. And Luke is older than Ashley. A lot of people feel like those winter house, summer house people are young, but they're like almost 40.
Yeah,
So
but they seem like college kids. It's
I
weird.
haven't watched it, but I heard it was
I've
a
never
mess.
watched one episode of Summer, Winter, Spring
I
House,
have.
whatever.
I've watched it,
I
and
Because
know
they
I
in my
tried to
are.
watch
head,
it,
it
and
was
it was
like
like
a
Jersey
Jersey Shore
Shore.
type.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
Jersey Shore party every night.
That's why
The times I've watched it, it's weird.
same reason why I watched that boat show.
And it's confusing to me because they are almost
uh-uh.
40. So how are they out hanging like they in college? I
I
couldn't. I
don't
don't know.
get it because I be tired. Okay, I don't understand. She probably was
To
Tori.
be with a,
Just read
she
it,
don't
child.
have to be begging and who really
No
want a man.
pegging.
Okay.
You know what pegging is?
No, tell me because obviously I don't know this little. What is the pegging?
That's disgusting.
What
I
is
have to
that?
say, ain't
I
no
mean, you can
penetration.
Okay, so she don't have to be penetrated. What?
Him. What she's saying is Michael would rather be with the man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Latoria, I didn't get that, but I agree. And so,
Okay, let's finish. What do you think about Michael having keys to the house? Would you
that's
let?
not what pegging is, though, right?
Yeah,
That's not
pegging.
what pegging is. I thought pegging was the use of a strap.
It is. It still ain't no penetration.
oh,
Oh, for
what?
him. For
Yeah.
him. Oh.
Oh my God!
I mean, I knew what that was, but I was
Yeah.
just like, I got you.
Where
You
did
got
I
it
That's why,
learn
now.
these
Okay,
terms
I was trying to be.
from?
that's
I was
why I
trying
was
to,
confused. I'm like, but
yeah.
it's for the woman. A
I was
woman
trying to
usually,
be
a
little.
woman is the pegger, right?
Yeah, she's a
Right.
pegger. Yeah. Oh God, Jesus.
With the
Okay.
strap on carrot, or what's the thing?
Oh, some candy sale. I'm sure. I'm sure Candy got it.
You think she said something like that?
I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. What did y'all say? What y'all talk about the keys to the house? Would you let your ex boyfriend,
No,
husband, baby daddy?
no,
Do
no.
y'all
Actually,
believe?
you know what though?
Go.
I just feel a little bad that Ashley is coming off so stupid because during the season she talked like she was running the show. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Michael cheated, so we're going to have the prenup change, and we're going to this, and I got this, and if you make me mad, we are not going to close down, and we're going to say. I mean, she always made it sound like she was running the show, and all the time I would sit back and think, look how Michael's staring at her. He's like, okay, sure, knowing all the time you ain't running crap. And now she's so, in a way, I feel a little sorry for her because I think she really thought she was doing something. And now she sees that she wasn't.
Let me say this.
Go ahead,
Okay.
because I got something to say too. Because
Go ahead. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
No, because you may be saying the same thing. Go ahead.
Okay, here's the thing about Ashley. I get where I kind of do get where she's coming from. It's kind of like having an ex-boyfriend that still he holds the purse strings, but he got you this condo. Some women would pack up and leave out because she don't want to have nothing to do with that. Obviously, Ashley doesn't have to sneak around. Not like what she was trying to say that Luke had to leave. It was because she didn't want them around her children.
Right.
So I don't think that was a sneak. I'm talking about she's having an open relationship in the public that's known amongst Bravo land, people who watch Bravo. So she doesn't have to hide. If I could get along with my ex, like Dolores and Frank did, because they have a strange, cohesive, non-sexual relationship, I would say yes. I would give my ex, and I would let him pay for my house. Just think, Frank, I would let him. Frank, what?
I love it.
I would let him. I would too, because the reality is I am raising his children.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing about Ashley that she has to watch is those children are going to be little for a long time. So she has to really learn how to put a little money away. She won't get alimony, but she can get spousal support. They are different.
Yeah, she's getting that, I'm sure.
And she'll definitely get child support. And it doesn't appear to me like Michael is not going to be reasonable, because Michael just want to kick it anyway.
As long as there's no Luke.
I don't think Luke was the problem. I think Luke didn't want to. I think Luke wanted to chill with Ashley.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to go back and forth, but I mean, Michael might be reasonable as long as there is not a Luke or a man that he thinks now has access to Ashley's heart, the way she said she was falling in love with him. When it gets too serious, I think Michael will not be as easy to do business with as she wants us to believe he is now.
Michael is a freak. He probably got 4 women laying on him grossly.
We know what he got because he did that throughout the whole
I don't think he cares like that. I think the only thing that I really don't think he cares. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't.
Of course he cares.
I don't think he cares. I think, and what I mean by I don't think he cares about Ashley. Did I whisper?
Right. I know what you mean.
Right. But I'm not saying he loves her, but he don't want nobody else with her.
He don't want anybody. Like, I don't want you.
I don't think he can. I really don't think this is the kind of guy. I agree. Because he's been pretty clear about how he's gonna cheat because he keep on getting caught.
He don't care.
I don't think he doesn't care. I really don't think.
I see it totally different. I feel like Ashley is building up a storyline for next season. I feel like Ashley got money over there somewhere and she wants y'all to think she don't. I feel like Ashley just ain't disclosing some stuff that happened and she playing y'all for a fool. Ashley is over there with the money. Mike, she got a lump sum already and she getting money every month. And y'all, this is
I believe it. I don't think he's gonna be ignorant. I just don't think, and I think that I don't think Michael will ever appear on this show again. I think this show has a lot to do with why they're not together. I just don't. He'll never appear on this show again unless y'all remember that Ashley piped in at some point to make it clear that Michael was a good father and She made that statement. And as soon as they went to break, she was like, girl, he was over there arguing the other day. I was cracking up.
What about the side conversations? Okay, and then Gizelle's side conversation.
She had to do that.
Yeah, she
had to do that. Because, and I get it, I wouldn't want my ex who had a national platform and I didn't to be disparaging me, especially if I'm taking care of you. You can't be Wendy Williams' ex-husband.
Oh, hell no.
You know what I'm saying? If you gonna dog me and walk away from me, you can't pretend to be happy and then got your hand out. It just don't work like that. Don't be Wendy Williams' ex. Be Ashley Darby.
I think it's a lie too, Kai. I don't think that it's. I think she's lying about all of
Oh,
it.
she'll get a lump sum.
I
Oh
thought
no.
she already got one. Remember?
Oh, she'll get a. It's probably, and check this out. It's
Yeah.
probably something like how Simon set up.
Yeah.
Did y'all see Simon's?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. She
When
didn't get
Simon
nothing.
did, he set up, and I heard that that's not unusual because I googled it.
What happened?
When Simon his prenup with, what was her name?
Fallon.
Well, she got an X amount for every year that they were married.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
I'm sure it's something similar
Yeah.
that and it was a fixed amount of money.
I'm telling y'all, Ashley building a storyline for next season. Y'all just wait.
But I would let him buy my house, because one of the things that I kept saying when people was like, he can come in there anytime. No, he can't. He would have to bring a deed with him and everything. She could call the police. All her mail is coming there, so he can't kick her out.
He can come in there anytime.
But it's in the LLC name. It's LLC. Both of theirs are just his.
And her uncle
is probably
the only one with some sense. It sounds like we're up in that little family.
Uncle Lump said, "What's wrong with you?"
He ain't playing. Yeah, there's something going on. What is really wrong?
Uncle Lump don't play.
He don't play. He ain't
you know what?
no nice word.
Look, Uncle Lump is us. He's like, finally finna get rid of this man. Girl, take some money and get away from him. If you gotta go get you a 300, or I'll even just say a $600,000 house. I know that that's not very big in that area,
right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I think what's her name house was just like $1 million. I bet you she could afford that by herself.
Oh yeah. Because ain't no way $1 million is gonna take 13 grand a month. That's a lot of money.
What do y'all think about the generational wealth conversation? Because we had said that in the past.
Very good comment.
That people have chastised Candiace because she has generational wealth.
I loved it. I was talking to my daughter about that today and trying to. She was kind of ignoring me, but still, she just let me ramble on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, you didn't. But no, I thought it was a great conversation because they went in on Candiace.
They did,
especially
Ashley. I don't think she was maligned, but I don't
think she definitely was not maligned, and I don't think that anybody went in on her because she had generational wealth.
Excuse me, Joy. Everybody went in on her because of generational wealth.
That's not true.
It is true. Just rewind back.
If you're having a conversation and saying, "Well, my mother pays for this and she pays for that," what do you pay for? Do you pay for your mortgage? As a joke, she says
she was splitting it with her from.
My mother pays half of that. Like it's just certain conversations that ain't nobody business.
I really feel like because her mother had so much to say, people were mainly on that. Like, if you want your mother to stop dogging your husband, because her mother has dogged Chris more than anybody on this show.
Yeah, but we didn't know her mama was dogging Chris until after the fact. She was talking about the money she was getting from her mama the first few minutes she was on the show. That was some of the main conversations. Your mama does what? So everything after that, it was after
you do know that that's a door that she opened. It's really strange to me. It's almost like when my daughter was an infant and you say, you walk into their room. I'll never forget. She literally did this. And I walked into her room one day and she said, "I did not boo-boo in there." What?
She told on herself.
I mean, you telling on yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Candiace was doing. Like, I have a mortgage. Would you know all this time we'd have talked about whatever? Would I ever mention who's paying my mortgage?
Well, but I think it then goes back to either you gonna tell your story or you not gonna tell it.
That ain't about telling your story.
It is about telling it. You sit here saying you wouldn't tell what she did tell. That was her story.
How is your mother paying half your mortgage a story?
Because we talked about it for 3-4 seasons. That's how.
That's
actually how her husband looked bad.
What we talked about was her mother's influence.
Yes, that's
the difference thing. What's the difference? It's still her mama's generational wealth that is
her money. Her mama's paying for things. We wouldn't have even known that. We would have just called her a nosy mama. The same thing we call Wanda and Scrappy Mama. Right, and Mama Joyce. We only know that Candy bought her mama house because she done said it.
Okay,
And
so
Robin and her mama went into business together. She helped her do some stuff.
Right. If
We
you
didn't know it's a reasonably shady kind of, but you don't have to talk about it.
It's,
I mean,
and it's not about
you're not the only
hiding
one with
details
pants and
of your
money
life.
either.
It's about there are just certain details that you as a person, you decide what's your what your
now
character
you know you crossed
is.
into some really
she
muddy waters
kinda-
there.
I'm sorry.
Yep. You're crossing into some muddy waters there. Yeah, you should decide what it says, but it's what you don't tell that could possibly get you in trouble for
We
not
playing the
speaking.
with you, Callie. They saying that's her mama's story.
It is.
It is
But-
her story. It's Candace's story. If Candace is living off of that and she's talking about her life and they see she lived in this nice condo next door to Whitney or whoever the heck was there at the time.
And something that kind of irritates me about the thought of generational wealth. Generational wealth, in my opinion, isn't about leeching. That's the appearance that, and I think that's the difference. It wasn't a situation where her mother gifted her a house, and that literally what her mother did for her, I guess, is what I'm trying to get you all to see is what that was a part of her story. She made what her mother did for her. That's how she explained why her mother comes once a month. That's how she explained. That had become a part of her character that she created. We didn't create that.
I don't know what y'all said. I got disconnected, I guess.
It did get disconnected. I think what Joyce really saying, to sum it up, is that her mother used that generational wealth, in my opinion, to talk bad about Candace, to try to tell, and Chris, to try to tell them what to do, to try to lead them in the direction that she wanted them to go. And that's not always a plus. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not, in my opinion, generational wealth would have been her mother gifting her that condo. And then when she moved, that I don't know what the financial situation was, but that was Candace could then use that for her new house. And that could have been the case. I don't know. But in my head, generational wealth isn't a continuing thing. You do that to your irresponsible crackhead child.
The same way Michael does Ashley. Good point, Kai.
I agree. So do you think it's better to have it from a husband than a parent?
No, I'm not saying that.
No, I'm asking questions to everybody, not just
I don't think that there is an either or situation. Generational wealth, wherever it comes from, is a good thing. But in my head, I ain't got no money like that. But if I had money, I would have expected to give my child that under a condition, like they turned 21 or they graduated from college or they did X, Y, and Z. And then they were able to do what they needed to do. And we may have done things together, investing or whatever. That's how you create generational wealth.
And
it's
Latoya,
not
you're right.
Pay your mortgage for an infinity amount of time.
It's really the definition of generational wealth.
Yes, that's what generational wealth is. And I'm paying your rent for no end date amount of time. To me, that's what you do to your child that you know is not responsible. You're not responsible enough. So I'm gonna pay your mortgage. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. I didn't say that. I just said the way that it was presented
talking about being
us.
irresponsible shouldn't be on topic at this moment, unless you think she's irresponsible.
I said the way that they displayed so-called generational wealth on the show was how, in my head, you would treat an irresponsible child, not one that you're giving wealth to. And I couldn't imagine having generational wealth for my child and she marry a guy who can't even keep a job. That's a whole nother quick conversation. I couldn't imagine. I would be thoroughly disappointed, especially if the child was, and she's not, especially if the child was a boy.
Her mother was disappointed. So as you say, her mother controls her life.
You don't go backwards. You don't go backwards. Or at least get with somebody that can make
She went with love. It was her life, not her mother.
She too old for that
Listen,
bull
Callie,
crap.
now you know.
It's beautiful. She
Being
too
married
old
to a
for that.
poor man
You
and a
do
rich
She
that
would
when
man.
love.
you're
She
20.
did. I mean, but
She
let's
did.
just
She
be
loves
honest
him.
though. She went
She
with
does
love.
love
Her
him.
mama didn't like him. Her mama probably
Yeah.
still don't like him. But her mama did whatever she could do with the wealth that she had to make sure her daughter stayed on top. Now it's different when what Michael was rich. Yeah, let's say that. Chris is not rich. But is there really a big difference? Michael treated Ashley like crap on the
Yeah.
regular. So what does the money him having have to do with him being a good gentleman or something? Because it didn't appear like he was a good husband. So it
But I
really made
think,
no difference.
but do
He
you
was
agree
a
with what
father type to Ashley.
do you
It
agree
is
with
what
what
it is.
Mia said, Callie, that the way you get them is the way you have to keep them?
Yeah, I do. Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you
Yeah.
mean how that relates to Chris and
No,
Candace?
no, to Michael mistreating because
Oh
Ashley
yeah.
wanted to change, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
Ashley didn't want to do the 3 ways no more.
she didn't want to
I
do it
thought that
anymore.
was a good point, and I actually made
Thank you,
that.
Miss
I
Haven.
remember a while ago that actually, remember, I was like, Mike was actually right. She the one that, remember I talked about that?
Yeah.
She the one that switched it up.
Mhm.
That's just not fair.
It's not.
It's just not fair. But I respect Ashley's positioning because I do think that when you're
That's
younger,
just
you're
fair.
willing to do things, and at
I think that could just be a
some
whole
point,
nother conversation.
especially Black women,
Hmm.
we our values change. The older we get, our values change.
I just
And
don't. Yeah.
although Ashley doesn't have the mindset of a Black girl so stereotypically, I said so stereotypically, so don't be writing nothing crazy.
Right. It's
in
not
the
like,
comments.
wait.
Yeah, I said she doesn't have the mindset of
Not being
the average Black girl. She just doesn't. And that was one of the reasons why I like her. We know that she was raised by Black people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she was raised by Black people.
No,
But
right
it
there.
does appear that she lived in an area where she was heavily influenced by white people. And I'm not mad at Ashley. Like I said, she's actually
What area did she live in that was heavily influenced?
I have no idea, but
Maybe
she
they trailer for.
they
I mean, I'm
talk.
just asking.
I mean,
I
that's what
don't
I'm saying.
know.
So when we're assuming, because we don't really know
No,
that, right?
yes, we are. But she said something in a conversation once where her and what's her name was talking in early season 3, and it was about Candace talking about the people that she was around her whole life, and she was just trying to be like a regular girl or something. And Ashley said something, and I can't even remember what she said. And I remember thinking, oh, she must have grew up around some wealthy. Maybe she went to a good school or charter school, or I don't know, DSEG program.
She could
I
have
don't
been in
know.
sports and got to a private school on scholarship or something. We never know.
But
Right,
here's what
right.
we do know.
It was
There's
something
a lot-
like
Hold on.
There's a lot that came out of that. But the fact is, when Candace, when they brought that up to Ashley, saying, well, you kind of talked about her real bad, and now look at all of Candace's accomplishments. I mean, I was glad that even came up.
And you know we said this on this show. I said they've been listening to us.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Candace has accomplished a lot. She's done all the things she wanted to do. She's acted.
But they don't show that on the show.
Yeah, she's got an album,
Well, this was definitely her season, though. She's had a very positive season. We've seen her talk about her music on here more than we've seen it the first season, at least, as she was into her music. She's done a lot.
Remember, I said I think this is the editors paying her back for season 5.
We're getting beat up
because they did created a love story around this bullshit. Like, I ain't say it, but y'all know what I mean.
When I say that Chris is loving this, I ain't mad at him though. Chris, get it while you can.
The prize. How is he the prize?
Okay,
you're asking how is Chris the prize?
How is Chris the prize?
I'm just gonna shut up, Joy.
Good. We're not gonna talk about this. Callie, do not say
how
no.
Is he? I mean, but clearly she loves him and she feels happy to even stress that out. So are you saying he's not a prize because he's not from generational wealth, or what is it that you're specifically saying, Joy?
I'll tell you off air. I'm
I
just
think what I'm going to say is Candace is the
he's a
prize.
downgrade in my opinion. I'm
Candace
just
is
gonna
the
leave
prize
it
in this
A
relationship.
downgrade from what though? Because they met at a
Something.
restaurant. She was living off of her
Anything.
mama's money.
He
So
I-
if you get to talking about just the finances of Chris and Candace before we knew about any mama money, was it a downgrade?
Well, I don't think they would be living in that townhouse without mama's money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
what?
don't know.
So,
I mean,
no. But that's my point. So was
Yeah.
it a downgrade?
I don't know.
It,
I mean,
it
I feel like
feels
she's
like
the
I
prize.
don't see anything
She's
wrong
the
with
one
but
with
now
that
downgrade.
why
So I guess it
he
just
feels
depends on
like
what you're.
there's nothing about him that feels refined. And I will admit, regardless
that
of
what it
how
has
much
to
I
be?
don't like Candace, I do think she gives the appearance of
Misbehaving, thank you.
refinement.
Well,
I do
and that's true.
at
And
times.
what do we
And
say
he
about
just
some of
does
us
it. He
refined
just
women?
does it.
And what do we say about some of us refined women, honey? We want the bad boys. Let's just be honest.
Yes. Okay.
Let's just be real honest with it. I don't know. She loves him,
I
and
like
you
a bad
know,
boy.
and I
I'm
love
like,
it when I see
even
her say that.
Jay-Z,
But when you're saying a
even
downgrade,
Beyonce then upgraded Jay-Z.
say it again.
You
No, I
I
heard
didn't
don't
hear
me.
know.
you.
I just feel like
No, I didn't hear
Even
you. You said
Beyonce upgraded
What
Jay-Z, hands down. She is a woman of refinement, and he had to step it up.
Wait a
He ain't
minute.
coming to
Okay.
award show in jeans and t-shirts no more. He
Y'all
Chris
are hot
don't even wear
men.
socks.
wait a minute. You
And
Okay.
he don't even be in like those stylish suits.
Why are we
I'm
talking
talking
about
about he don't
this?
wear socks
And
with like
Beyonce is the upgrade. Is that what
Oh
you
yeah,
said?
most definitely. She's a girl
So,
from
but
Texas.
as we
She's a
say
guy
that
from
though, Beyonce is the upgrade because her mama owned a beauty shop.
Well, no, because he was more of the streets. Maybe.
Come on,
was.
just
He
think
was a
about
street
what we are
dude.
saying. He what?
I mean,
He was.
What'd you say, Joy?
Jay-Z represented the streets. It's nothing.
Okay,
I mean,
and
he
so-
even tells you that when he first got
owning
started, he was
so
selling
listen.
drugs.
He represented the street. So owning a beauty salon, that's upper echelon.
well, I think that her daddy was in the music business. How she got, and he was her
Her
manager.
daddy was with
I
Microsoft.
don't even
He
know
was
what you're
a
talking about
salesman.
because when she was a star.
What?
I don't
Jay-Z
know.
is
We're
a
not
star
talking about
too.
Beyonce. Them. Let us move up.
He
don't
was
even
a
know
star
what-
too, though.
Okay, so what about this comment? Do y'all think that if a black woman dates outside of their race,
So
it should be
if
an upgrade?
you
Oh,
sell
gosh,
drugs,
y'all-
you off the street. But if
They
you
were
can
on.
own
I
and
told
own
you,
your
can we
own
not
hair
talk about
salon,
Beyonce
that makes
and
you
Jay-Z?
not refined.
Listen, we doing Real Housewives of Potomac, not Jay-Z and Beyonce. Let's move on.
I can bring it up.
I think, okay, what about this topic? I think if a black woman dates outside of her race, it should be an upgrade. He is a lateral
Thank
move.
you.
Somebody,
Thank you.
Oh,
Angela. I'm trying.
Thank you for the explanation, Angela. I guess Joy couldn't find the words.
Thank you.
That's what I
No,
guess.
I
That's
knew
what
the
she was
word.
saying.
I just
You
didn't want to
couldn't say
sound
them?
racist. I just
I don't think that's racist, though. I don't think that's racist.
thank you, Angela. Because
And
that's really
Cocktail,
what
I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm asking. So was Beyonce's family owning a beautician? Is that upper
I'm not talking
echelon?
about Beyonce. I don't even know.
We
who
are
this is.
talking about it. That's the
We
comment
can't
right
do
there
this
that
no more.
I'm
We
reading
already
and
been on here
responding to,
45
Joy.
minutes now.
The comment there that's talking about it. That's what I'm responding to.
Okay, so Jay-Z and Beyonce are equal. Let's let that go. Let's see.
I'm
Yep.
sorry for anyone out there that owns a beauty salon because that means you ain't upper echelon.
Who owned the beauty salon in the
I
first
don't
place?
know.
Beyonce's mother did, Joy.
Not when you met her. That girl was a superstar.
my
You get
God.
weird. I
No,
don't even understand where
When
this
he
comes
met
from.
her, yes, they did because she had only been
You
in the business
right.
for a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Joy,
I'm
don't start.
sorry. Can we
Don't
move
start.
I get the lateral move. I don't get the downgrade because I didn't see Candace's life take a downturn. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, let's move on from
Thank you,
Beyonce.
Kai.
Well,
You
child, I
have to
forgot
take
where
a
I was.
downgrade. That's not how that works. You don't take a
That
downgrade
is how it works.
I'm about to go
when you
Okay.
pick from
I'm
somebody that's not in your whatever. That's not what happens. I mean, dudes do that all the time. Football players would take a regular old girl who parents were lower class. That doesn't, of course, it doesn't make him appear worse. That's not what it is. It's really picking a person. You're up here and you picking somebody down here. And I hate to say it in those terms, but that's what we're talking about, Kai. We need to get back on this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sometimes I feel like certain people don't match, and that's all you saying is they kind of didn't match. Now they match. Okay. All right. I want to talk about this seating thing because it was a lot. Because Andy said the producers pick and him talk about it, and they try not to have people sit beside each other who have problems. But they did. They let Sonia and Drew sit beside each other. So I feel like they could have just moved Wendy on over to the other couch.
How many words did Karen say last night? I mean, did she really need that spot? It was crazy.
She didn't say, and
somebody else, several people have said that.
She just made faces.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it is. And I don't understand why people keep giving this lady a pass. I'm trying not to be a Karen hater, but she don't do nothing. She does nothing, and people just love her.
And she never has done anything. She lies worse than Mia, and people love it. I don't know why.
Okay, amen. What do y'all think about the body filler rejection thing, where Andy was like, a lot of people are saying that it wasn't the cancer, that it was your body rejecting all the implants. We had talked. I'm telling you, we
talked about this.
And Latoya said she know it was a boil.
But do y'all think does Wendy have issues now? Because don't she have a lot of? Should she be worried, or does she?
And then I wanted to also say this. When she was like, this kind of irritated me. When you go through an oncologist, and I was like,
she lied.
Not if it's skin related. You
dermatologist.
Off at your dermatologist.
Go to a dermatologist.
Yeah, now you might work in conjunction with them.
You can basically do everything in the dermatology office. It depends on what kind of cancer it is. So Wendy, she's smart, but sometimes she say stuff and want people to think she know everything, and she don't.
Wendy is very dismissive of Mia. I mean, I don't care what it is. Why
she's dismissive of everybody. I don't even know how she on this show. She could have been a friend of for real.
Joy, you don't quit saying that. She could have though.
She could have been.
Look, y'all got this song, Joy.
What is that?
Like it. I mean, how hard would it have been
for her
to? I did not enjoy Karen's wedding. How hard would it have been for her to say, "Yeah, I got busted with the hot mic," and leave it alone? She just went. She just couldn't even admit it. The girl's funny to me.
I want to
be on that big one with the
pen.
The pen. What? How much was it over?
It was free, girl. It was free. We'll talk about it.
Are we still talking about the Beyonce beauty salon, or what y'all talking about over there?
Andy full of. They want to ensure a chocolate girl was on inside the couch. You think that's why they did that?
I think it was strategic. Remember, I broke that down. If you look on the couch, you got two people that are already. You had two people that were already arguing. On one side, you had Karen and Robin, but they were separated, and you had Gizelle and Wendy, and they were separated. Gizelle was arguing with Candiace. They knew that was gonna be, so they needed to be across from each other. Candiace and Ashley kind of was arguing with Candiace, and they were across, and Wendy was across from Mia. And we're going to assume that Karen, who's going to argue a lot with Sharice, is going to be on the couch. So I understood it. Remember, I had broke it down. I said it kind of makes sense. Because although Robin and Karen will argue, it ain't a person in the world that watches this show that knows that Karen isn't aggressive.
Yeah,
so they not argue with anybody, and she wouldn't get in nothing about that would feel uneasy if you're sitting next to Karen. So what? Did
you not see how she jumped up at that table to go at Sharice?
Girl, that was theatrics. You know,
that was a geriatric fight.
It was theatrics. Anytime she would do it, it would be theatrics. But we see that she is
going to be
ghetto
far
as anybody else.
From each other.
She's just as ghetto as Jay-Z was.
But a lot of people have been saying that they didn't think Karen deserved first seat.
She didn't.
Well, let me just You know, I love Gizelle. That's my girl. And I'm glad she there so she could say she the only one on this cast that said they had every season.
Yeah.
But I personally, if I could have picked two people that really showed up this season, it would have been Robin and Mia. I would have put two totally different people because, in my opinion, Carl Robin, she got on your nerves. She did. She act different. She was rebellious when it gets Gizelle. It was a whole bunch of stuff that went on. But one, you sure can't say that girl didn't earn her check that season.
I feel like Andy feels safe with Gizelle beside him on his left. He likes to banter with her when they're done, like when they're on break.
Did you see the question she asked him?
She said, Andrew, have you ever been with a woman? He said, no. She said,
and he said he's curious. And
he's curious, but he would. And she said, well, if you hadn't done it by the time you're 60, I'll do it.
I was like, Gizelle.
So they got 6 more years because I think he's 53. So I
was like, Gizelle.
But I think he likes that. That's why he wants her there, because she makes him laugh throughout the thing. I don't think she'll.
Because I did wonder. I just knew this season she wasn't going. I just knew this season she wasn't going to get it.
Who? Robin?
Gizelle.
Oh, and she's gonna always get it. The longest she's there, she's gonna get it. Cal's gonna get it. Certain people gonna always be beside him. Now,
but Cal earns her check though, with very few exceptions. Well, I'm not saying that Gizelle didn't earn her check, because she definitely created some storylines for other people, because that's why she don't need her own, because she creates folks' storylines. But I'll give her this. I forgot the point I was gonna make. Go on.
I don't know. Okay, so anyway, I think we're done. Oh, what do y'all think about the text from Chris apologizing? Because I know Callie got a little burnt, like she was upset.
About what?
That
he apologized? Well, no, because he did. Okay, yeah, because he didn't apologize. But here's the thing: I just don't understand. Is Gizelle wanting to play us like we boo-boo the fool? I mean, clearly, what she said was not him acknowledging what she wants us to believe that he did to her. So she just think we stupid today.
So here's the thing, though, Callie. That was enough for her. She didn't really need anything. Here's the difference. Giselle,
it ain't about her.
But it is exactly about her.
No, it's not. It's about what she accused
what you think. If I had somebody I thought, and I think they were at the very least cool. They weren't friends, but they were pretty cool. So I thought you were putting me in a bad situation. But if that's not your thing, and you was like, look, if you thought I did that, I'm sorry, I would have accepted that, period. If that's all he takes, I would have accepted that and moved on from there. Like, throw it away. Because genuinely, and I get Candace's point, I wish they would let her say her whole point when she says things like, because if you think about it, Candace actually acknowledges that Gizelle is telling the truth. But she says it would have been.
Oh my God.
She did twice.
She could have been uncomfortable.
No. You know how I know she acknowledged it? She said this would have been over had you done it right.
Yeah.
If so, because this is, you have to mind you that all of the sneaky link and all that stuff, she ain't seen none of that. And they didn't
wait a minute. What they said on the reunion about the sexual assault was exactly what I've been saying on this show. It has nothing to do with Gizelle. It has to do with Deborah. Chris said it to me in a chat. I've been saying that. It has nothing to do with Gizelle being uncomfortable. So we've already talked about that. What we said was true.
But so Chris, I just feel like I don't even know the point I was making. Shoot, y'all know I'm finna put a couple of memes I want us to bring up because I thought.
Okay, let me see what else I got. Okay, so a lot of people was mad about the dwindling uterus people are very upset about that comment. They were like, we were all team Candace until she said that.
Yeah, but that's what they said when all this broke out. Everybody was on Candace's side until she started fighting back on Twitter. I mean, get over it.
They were
the issue that I have. You know, for somebody who claims she believe in God, always sprouting Jesus and all that other stuff like that on TV, you would be a little bit more cautious about what you say to people, especially
Well,
when you
that's
say
not
things.
true.
Can I
That's
finish
not
the
true.
point? Can I
Well,
finish
no,
it?
no, no,
Especially when
not if we
you're a
not if we're
woman
going back in
that
time.
is
No.
freezing your eggs right now. Why would you call another woman's uterus what did she say it was?
Dwindling uterus.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I would just be more cautious. It's kind of like the girl who I know of something that I did when I was younger that I used to call people all the time, and I don't think it's by accident that my baby's eyes are cross-eyed.
Right.
So I don't think.
I mean, I told y'all why I was sensitive to me.
I don't know why I think I'm whispering, because I don't want God to hear me.
Because yeah, right, but it's really because.
But I don't think it's by accident.
Because if something happens or she has complications, she's going to be upset with herself. Because it happened to me. I was pregnant. I was pregnant with a little baby boy. I was like, oh, I don't want a boy. I want a girl. And then I had to have a stillborn baby. And to this day, I feel like, why did I say that? So she needs to be mindful of what she says about stuff like that. Because if something, I pray nothing happens, but she's going to feel like it was her fault. You just don't do that. In my opinion, maybe I'm sensitive to it because what happened to me, but I didn't like it.
And I always think that it's a blessing to have that kind of discernment to be able to recognize that. I have done things, you could call it karma, whatever, but I really do. I have done things where I have felt like it was a direct result of something that I did. That was a punishment. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a blessing to be able to discern that. I would always be careful about, it's just like, it's the very reason why we don't say people babies are ugly. Mm-hmm. Even when it's a child.
Not till you're done having babies. Like, I'm done.
Because you could be done having your baby.
When my baby might have a baby.
Come home looking like a smurf. It's just certain things that you don't do if you feel like you're a part of polite society. I'll just say that, because everybody.
And I agree with everything Candace said about the sneaky link. Gizelle shouldn't have said that. I agree with her saying that many men have tried me. I was like, Gizelle shouldn't have said that. Like,
but she wasn't talking about Chris. But
even if so, she still shouldn't have said it. I agree with Candace on all that. I like Candace and Gizelle. So, I just think that comment was a little too far. But that's just me. I know Callie thought it was great, and a lot of people thought it was great. So.
I didn't say it was a great comment. And I didn't say it was a great comment. And me and you had the same reason, because I too have lost a job. We've both been in that same situation.
We have.
What I said is, when you're in a war of words, I'm not going to sit there and call you strawberry shortcake. That's what I said, basically.
Right,
and it's a nice deflection. It's a nice deflection from the situation at hand. And now that we're back talking about what Candace shouldn't have said, let's get back to the topic. Is what Gizelle said.
But she made people get off of it by doing that. Do you not understand?
And are y'all through with it now or no?
With what? I was
in the meantime, we might need to figure out how to stop accusing men of doing something if they didn't do it on both sides. So we need to figure it out.
But I did say that. I said I was upset with Gizelle. I was not on with that, waiting for her to do it on camera. I was happy Candace got into her with her.
And I'm with you. And I wasn't all happy about her comment either, but I understood why she made a negative comment. It ain't like
I guess
was Gizelle concerned about the comment she made?
I think here's the difference. You're correct that I offend you. You can't necessarily police how I offend you back. I even get that concept. I guess, again, this is about what part of society in your head you are. If you're a part of polite society, to automatically go to a dark place, to hurt, to dig like that, it's something mentally wrong with you in my
opinion. But Gizelle is mental too.
But D is right. He said people
Gizelle held that stuff in her back pocket until the cameras were rolling. Was she mental too?
Yeah, I agree with that too, Callie. I agree with that. I just feel like there's so many things you can go at Gizelle about, except that. I mean, like, but that's just me. Like, talk about her outfits, talk about Jamal, whatever, which I shouldn't even talk about him because she ain't been with him for a minute. But to go to that when you're in vitro and IV, I would not have done that. But D made a good point. I'm about to share the link for everybody. But people were not upset when Phaedra did it to Kenya. So a lot of people feel like that's the read of the future.
And I think here is also the difference.
It's not no
Kenya was going to, first of all, she said she was going to beat her up while she was, this is all in the same one. This is all the same episode. I think it was because they were both in a low place. And where she went,
Thank you, misbehaving.
Where she went with her was kind of matching her energy. I think that's the issue. I think it's more of a match energy sort of thing. Kenya had said she was gonna beat her up. Kenya, that was the year that it has. I can't even.
Oh Lord, we got so many people trying to get on, y'all. Oh my God.
Open up. Let's go.
Oh God, y'all.
Listen,
let's
do
one at a time.
One at a time and take them out before we ask somebody else.
Well, we
only got a couple of minutes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I didn't know we were gonna be so popular tonight. Oh, can everyone hear me fine? I have my headphone in.
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. To me, when we are talking about the generational wealth talk, I feel like Black people need to reevaluate that, because where I went to school, parents are doing what Candace's mom and dad and stepmom and stepdad are doing for their kids and are still doing it to this day, and we're now 25, 26, and some of my older friends, their parents are still doing it. I think it's very strange for us to be like, I don't think generational wealth is getting an investment property because Candace had that house in her 20s before she ever met Chris. And you and your daughter going ahead and going into it, and you live in a separate state and your daughter gets to do whatever she wants with it. I know plenty of
everything for me too, but I don't think we have generate. I mean, right now I could
quit. But
you know what I mean?
To me, start somewhere.
Yeah.
And my thing is also, it's like, Black people have this elevated idea of like generational wealth is like you having to be Puff Daddy. No, generational wealth is that you and your family being able to acquire assets and being able to pass it on. Generational wealth at the core is mostly about homes and how white people were able to acquire homes and being able to have those as nest eggs to pay for their kids' colleges. That's and all that kind of stuff.
The gifted, because I remember when Mitt Romney was running for president, his wedding gift to his wife when he got married was a 5-bedroom house in like Virginia somewhere that was like worth millions of dollars when he had to lay out his assets. And that's the house that he lived in and raised his family in. That's generation. Yeah, imagine not having a mortgage.
Yes, but people do it in different ways. Some people think it's smarter to go ahead and have a mortgage to pay off of certain things in case you think that the value will increase or you're trying to get a home like equity. There are different reasons why. The same way Michael didn't buy that house outright, it's the same way that we should be able to understand if Candace's parents decided, we're going to go ahead and purchase this home for you and we'll still have a mortgage. It's the same way Ashley doing that house. And Michael is supposed to be this $20 million man, and you didn't go ahead and outright buy the $2.5 million home. And to me, I feel like people are forgetting, like, before Candace called Ashley any kind of names, on Candace's first reunion, when Andy was talking to Candace, not Ashley, Ashley said she's not a housewife, she's a house daughter. So the Jakes have been coming out, calling her a house daughter and this little girl and spoiled brat and who did this and who did that and all that kind of stuff. And to me, it reflects that y'all don't understand how other people work. I know plenty of people who the parents they're in their 30s, maybe 27 or whatever. Parents pay the cell phone bill, parents are paying credit card bills, and they're married with their husband. But it's not, but it's generally the time that we talk about it.
Instead of paying those bills, get a business or something. I mean, why are you paying your
if you let me finish. Because the thing about it is,
that's ridiculous though.
It's really not, because most of those kids are doing it. Okay, can I finish?
Go ahead, but that's stupid.
But Black people are only people who say that's stupid. You do realize that though.
It is
because mostly
you're gonna pay my phone bill, mama, and I'm 25.
Yeah, yes. It's not about oh my god. I'm trying to explain. It's not about being lazy. Black people only want to call this stuff lazy.
Yeah, most kids are able to do.
Because my thing is, Candace is able to do whatever she wants with life. All of her goals that she has set for herself, she has done. Mm-hmm. I know people who you go back to school for medical school, you're not paying. When I was in school, I got a job because my grandma was like, oh, you should learn about being financial independent. Even with doing that, they were still paying my grocery bills, getting my nails done, had their card in my Uber account. Right now, I'm 25. I have my name on properties that I have not put a cent into.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it is wild that for Black people, this is lazy, this is leeching, all this kind of stuff. No, the way these people are going, I know people who I went to school with. Their parents are wealthy. They went to school at a good school, cost 80 grand. You get out, you get a job at JP Morgan, Deloitte, making six figures, $200,000, whatever. Parents still buy a house and their girlfriend's living with them. Those are what other communities are doing. Black people are the only ones saying it's stupid to pay these bills. When other people, if I have the money,
The house. I'm talking about the phone bills and little grocery and stuff like that. You should
I'm
be
literally saying no. I'm literally saying Black people are the only ones who do this because other people like if I can afford to pay for my kids, go ahead and pay it. And you guys do whatever you want with your money. Start your business, go back to school, mix risky investments that you can do in your 20s that you might not do in your 30s. That's what they're doing. That's what
I
other communities are
understand that,
doing.
but a phone bill is $50 a freaking month. Like
That
you know what I
Okay,
mean?
y'all.
We
We got
gonna
about
move on.
8 people
Okay, I
that's
got some
sitting
more
and
people
waiting.
coming in. All right,
Now,
all right,
oh,
you
I mean, I will
guys,
stop and scream that about how.
okay. Moving on, because that's all right. KD,
Hey
what's up,
guys, okay,
Mauricio?
before I start, am I gonna be on the panel for New Jersey so I don't be waiting like I
yes.
was earlier?
Yeah, you so
Okay.
I don't even know when that
dang.
starts.
Who are
You gonna
you?
have to, because I don't know nothing about it. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry, Joy. I'm just look out. You know, I'm ready to tear Jackie them up, honey. But
Okay, go
Right.
ahead. Go
anyways,
ahead. Come
okay. I do agree with what Kyra said because I have like some white friends like that I went to high school and stuff with, and like we're all grown now. Like we've all went to college and stuff like that, and their parents still do for them, and they have jobs and stuff like that, but
I
their
get
parents
the
still
do
do for
for them,
them.
but like get a house or pay their mortgage and stuff like that. But a phone bill and they grow, you have to at least let your kids pay for something. Like seriously, I understand the house, I understand because I'm gonna do for my child as long as I can on the big stuff. But the little stuff, you still have to teach them some type of responsibility of
But I
buying
mean,
being
just because they're
responsible.
doing that, does that really mean that they don't have responsibility?
Hell yeah,
No,
they don't have.
no. Well, because if you're paying the big stuff, do you really what are your kids learning to just have to pay the little $200 phone bill?
No, they'll know how to do it. Like some
Oh
kids don't
yeah,
even know
that's
how to write a check,
absolutely.
Callie. Some
No,
kids don't even know
absolutely.
how to fill out a checkbook.
Who
You know what
right?
I
Absolutely.
Who
mean?
uses that? Who uses that stuff anymore?
I'm with you there. Look at the look on her face.
I mean, being serious, like I literally
Because
went
okay,
into the
I'm gonna
bank
tell you
one
this.
time
I
and
have
couldn't
squirrels in
even
my attic. So
find
let me tell
a.
you, I have squirrels in my attic. They wanted a check. Okay? They didn't want the cash or the card. They wanted a check. So you will have to still write a check for certain things. You still need to know how to do certain things in life. They don't
Yeah,
even know how
I
to write a
agree.
signature.
I agree. I agree.
Y'all just I don't know. But anyway, go
I
ahead.
mean,
What else you gotta say? I feel like
uh,
generational wealth, y'all, what y'all talking about is the small scheme of generational wealth, not the large things like gifting a $5 million house and letting your kids do what they want to do. Candace's mom was still trying to tell her what the hell to do.
That's
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's not
yeah. I
And
see what you're
I
saying.
can't
I see what you're
emphasize that
saying.
that's how Candace introduced herself. You know, it's okay to be an heiress type if that's what you want to be.
Candace
But
made the mistake of
if
coming
that's what
in
you
thinking
are,
they were
because
her friends.
that's
Paris
true.
Hilton, Paris Hilton, we would assume when we watched her show when it was on that she ain't had no job. So we figured her parents was paying for stuff until she started creating her own. And I guess that's where it came in. Like, if you think about it, that's what she did. Her and her sisters then found they didn't have perfume, shoes. They're creating more wealth for themselves. I guess there are people that live off their parents forever. I
Yeah.
don't really.
I don't
I
like
just
it.
I
I
don't
want to say something else
I
concerning
don't
Go
this
know.
ahead. Yeah,
topic,
I know.
but I'm gonna wait till we are doing New Jersey and before you broadcast it live. I'm just gonna say it to y'all then, because I know it's other
Okay.
people waiting. So I'm gonna just say it then. But I
Okay.
did not care about Candice talking about Giselle's expired uterus. I live for that. Everybody went up for Phaedra when she did it to Kenya. So I mean, why are we trying to like, oh my God, making it
Here
Candace the Antichrist? It ain't no difference,
is,
Joy. I
and
don't want to hear it's
also
a
here
difference. It's not a difference. It's
is
not
the
a
difference. Wait a
difference.
minute. Let me
It's
always
not.
talk about the difference between reading and what I think is joning or playing the dozens.
That was
That's the
horrible.
difference. So
Cause what Phaedra
um
said to
if
Kenya was
you
horrible.
It
What
was
are you
worse
talking
wait a
than what
minute,
about?
just
Candace
I
said.
promise, and I'll stop.
Literally,
And I'll
Montanique.
stop.
Literally.
Um what's her name? What's her name? Phaedra created a
You broke up,
whole
George.
she was
Cause,
going.
cause the devil is a
I
lie, and we
said
all
when
Right.
know that.
Phaedra read Kenya, when Kenya read Phaedra, she created a whole story that you had to listen to even figure out where she was going with
Because
this
she
speech.
rehearsed the damn read, Joy. She practiced that in her
I'm
mirror.
not
In
arguing
the
it.
mirror,
Look,
honey.
She set
I
that
don't have
whole
a
story
problem with
up.
that. All I'm saying is there is a way she
Yeah.
created a story so it
It
didn't
doesn't matter.
appear
Who
Because
cares
she
phony.
about
like
her
Phaedra.
creating a
Whereas
story? No one cares about
Candace,
that. The point
Candace
is,
did a
you don't.
1-2 punch when she said, "You're okay." I can't even.
So
We can't do
her
this today.
creating a story makes it okay.
No, it
No,
does
it does
not.
not. No, it does not. So therefore, if we're gonna
I
give
think that's the
Phaedra a
difference
pass,
between a
then
read and joning and
we're
playing
gonna
the
give
cousins.
that wasn't
We
even a
got two
read.
more.
Phaedra
We
looked
got two more people
ridiculous.
coming to me, so I'm gonna
Okay,
get
what
you
else you
next
gotta say,
door.
D? Because
Okay.
go ahead. What
We
is there
got other
anything
people
else?
down.
I was glad that the production was on Candy's side this year.
Yeah.
Literally, they was rolling those clips back. They was rolling those tapes back. I was like, yeah. When they was rolling those tapes back, I literally was thinking about Joy. I swear to God, I was like, cause Joy, are you me and Callie up and down about that sneaky leak coming? Didn't she, Callie? She
She
argued
did
us down, and I was
all
like,
day.
yes. I was like,
The
yes.
reason I thought because they didn't show her face when she heard it, they were pointed at Robin.
Yeah, but she still shouldn't have said it. And I love Gizelle, but that's something she shouldn't have
I
said.
just thought I always
Yeah.
feel like it's a trick when you're not focused on something and
Oh, my
something
battery about
important
to
is
die, y'all.
happening.
And I also hope,
If I don't
and
see
let
their
me,
mouth said, if I don't see their mouth said, it's an issue for me because I
I get
always
what you're
think
Oh,
that
saying.
they're
Yeah,
tricking, playing things for
yeah.
camera, and they weren't on Giselle's face. So I'm thinking that this wasn't on her. I kept saying they didn't show her face. I remember going back to look at it. She was talking to Robin, but when you heard her say, "Well, Crick's a sneaky link," they were looking at Robin.
But
So
she
I
said
don't
many a
know if
married
that was
man
something that
sleeping
she
in the
said in
different.
real time. Yes, it's weird to me.
Ashley,
I don't like when they do
Ashley
stuff
looked a
like that.
mess. Also, I
I,
wanted to say that
I
too.
think Karen looked a mess.
just
I
wanted to
hated,
hand her a towel and say,
It's
dry
that
off
Bob.
something.
That's
I
my.
I
really
hated her.
It's
I
that
hated
Bob.
her outfit.
What's
The
wait a
dress
minute?
was
Let me see.
horrible.
I
It
like
was
her
good.
dress. I didn't
I
like
didn't
the
like it either.
way,
Her
I didn't
boobs.
like the
And
look,
Kenya
dress.
wasn't
I
talking
didn't
about her
like the
boobs, but
bob. The
Kenya.
bob was too big on one side.
oh, I
The
like
bob.
Oh, Misbehaving said production wasn't on her side. They were trying to
I
protect and
said,
rebuild a
thank you,
white man's image.
misbehaving.
I don't.
I was
I
wondering
don't
about
think that.
that.
I just think that they were just trying to tell the damn truth because the bitch was lying.
well, I don't know that. I mean, I hadn't thought about that, but they didn't do that for Michael. So why would they do it for Chris?
Exactly. They were trying to tear
Yeah,
Michael
because they
down,
showed, but
honey.
I don't think you could
They knew
defend.
Michael was a creep. I
I
think you're
mean,
right.
But I mean, at the end of the day, if they wanted to protect Michael, they definitely could have.
Yeah,
They
I think
definitely
when
could
he
have.
grabbed that man though, he messed himself
If
up.
And
even if he did do that, if
Michael
they
would
wanted to
lead to
protect him for
production.
that, they would
We
have
got these
protected
people
him if
down
that's
here.
what they was
We got
on.
these
But
people down
I'm gonna
All
let
right,
y'all go.
all right,
I'm gonna
all
let you go
right.
because it's too many
Cocktail
people.
in and then Tori. Then we got to move something else. Okay. Hey, cocktails. How are you?
How y'all girls doing, honey? I've
how
been
you
missing y'all,
doing?
boo. I've been missing y'all, but I do push the like button. I will go back and I read it and I go back to see it. I push the like button, okay?
Oh,
I make
good.
you know
Thank
I
you,
push the like
girl.
button,
Thank
okay?
you.
But let's get started, baby doll. I'm gonna tell you like this, my here. Micah ain't no fool, okay, baby doll. You can play the game that you want to. Micah ain't no fool. This ain't the first rodeo Micah been riding now,
Yeah.
came in riding now, okay?
And
He
he
said,
had that
baby,
look
you
on his
forget
face the
you
whole
was with a
time.
girl. You was with a
Hmm.
girl before you got with me.
Yeah.
Okay, you was nothing when you got with me. I'm gonna go protect what's mine, baby doll. Okay, I'm gonna let you have these kids. I'm gonna let you have the kids. I'm gonna throw you some money up here. Look like she didn't learn nothing. I bet you need to take some kind of classes from Mia, because you better believe that was Mia case, baby doll. Mia got some money, baby doll. Okay, Mia got some money.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so
So you
you
know what
really
I'm saying?
believe
Because
Ashley ain't
you
getting
know
no
what I'm
money?
saying? She's stupid. Like she didn't listen to everybody when the lawyer told her do not hook up with Michael like that. You need to
Hmm.
put some boundaries. That's why you lost your man. You know that's why you lost your man because you kind of hook up this old man. You know what I'm saying? And evidently, it didn't like it. Okay. So I'm done with that situation. You dumb. You go. You. I hope you and your kids ain't got to go live on the bridge with your mommy in the tent. You know what I'm saying? What y'all been doing, okay? Where y'all was once before you met Mike, okay? And y'all cannot talk about Candace living out nobody. Baby dog, your mother was living out Michael.
That's true.
Yeah, yes.
That's true.
Wait,
Okay, so you can't
what
talk
was
about
paying the
nobody.
rent
Okay,
for
I'm
some
for it. You can't talk
years?
about
Like these
nobody.
kind of comments.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Okay, you can't come. You
Well,
cannot talk
I
about
get,
nobody. I'm gonna tell y'all something else
I
too. I'm
think
gonna tell
it's,
y'all something else too.
wait a
I'm
minute,
gonna tell
Jesus.
y'all something. This
Wait.
is reason why we got a problem with this in the African American community, that
Mm.
intergender wealth, because nowadays we just now seen the major of wealthy black people in America at this time and age. Okay, because we was always taught, well, you get your education, you go take care of yourself. But it's a lot of celebrities out there. Michael Jordan take care of his kids. Matthew Johnson take care of his son, his daughter.
Yeah, but I'm
He
sure
take care
they
of their
doing some
bills.
stuff too, though.
Yes,
They
they do.
still
I
at
mean,
work.
every his they was on TV. They was I remember they was on the View one time, and I believe they wasn't the View, was something else. He sometime he said he get allowance from Michael Irvin Magic. He
Yeah,
get allowance from his daddy every month. Plus his daddy paying his bills. And also you have people like Reverend One before them girls even start making it big um in Hollywood and everything.
right.
Reverend One was paying for their apartment. He was getting them allowances and stuff. He was taking care of them. So you got interchangeable wealth, okay? So we don't understand. We don't understand because we ain't got money like that, okay? We ain't got the million. Our millions ain't in the hundred millions. You know what I'm saying?
Million.
I can say mama. I said mama Dorothy ain't in the millions, but she like. I said she like a quarter of me. Mama know how to make money. Okay, she ain't no dumb fool. Uh, Candace's dad is a doctor, is a major doctor.
Okay,
Okay,
now tell
so
me, gotta let other people in, baby.
Yeah.
and I
But we
mean, I'm kind of hurry up. And then Mia, baby, you
okay. Come on, Tori. Come on, Tori.
Hi,
Hello,
Tori.
ladies. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, how are
We
you?
Joy,
good.
yes, I live rent free in your head. Okay, and I guess DeMarco do too.
I think
Since
it's
he
the
thought
other
about the
way
same thing
around
that I thought
Oh,
about,
because
so
you
I
are
cover you.
obsessed with
Oh
me.
Hello,
God,
You are
hello.
obsessed with me. It's getting
y'all
weird.
are
oh my
You is
God.
crazy.
Apparently,
unhinged.
DeMarco is too, because he just admitted it. He said that he thought about you too. I
Yeah,
can't help
y'all are
that your opinions
weird.
are so
Y'all get
strong
weird
that you
on
make us
me.
think about you, Joy. We love you.
Y'all are
Mm-hmm.
weirdos.
Okay,
Y'all
but
are
what I wanted to
crazy.
say about this, I also wanted to add on with this generational wealth. I think we're missing a big point of it. It's not the fact that Dorothy was helping her pay for a mortgage. That was called an investment. But we
Right.
forget that Candace came on the show with 3 businesses. So honestly, she really didn't need her mom help to even help pay for that townhouse because she had
Thank
three
you.
businesses that bring in
Her
income
mama
that
paying
she
for the
probably couldn't
business.
Thank you,
afford
That
herself.
was
Latouri.
So
her whole first season. Was I actually rewatched that
no, she
season?
has a hair business.
I was
Everybody know hair is a
surprised.
$1 billion
I was
business.
surprised
Weave is a billion
how
dollar business. You're gonna
detailed
always
they
make
got with
money.
Candace because I ain't
Even if
remember
you
none
selling
of
cheap
that.
stuff in the grocery budget.
I
Okay,
don't
also
know,
Joy,
but
you tried to use God in this thing about Candace talking about if she was for God.
Child. Yes. That's when I just shut up. It was like, okay, this is about to be pointless.
now what about God? I missed it.
No, I it wasn't that I used God. That my my morals are based off are intertwined with my beliefs. See, my social life is like that. I don't what my morals are don't turn off when I'm amongst my girlfriends or if I'm on TV or if I'm at work. My morals don't shut off. So my morals are my morals. So when I say that when she talks about Jesus and who she is, I get confused when she has such vile comments. In my head, somebody that thinks that foul would not it would be strange to me about how close they are to really believing the things that they say. Because not that I'm perfect. You may disagree with a lot of things that I say, but I'm the same person. How I believe may even be old school to people, but how I move my life is how I move my life at home, amongst my friendships, and professionally. So when I watch Candiace and it's her instinct to say some of the things that she said, that's her first instinct too. Her first instinct even isn't to cry, to show emotions. That comes next. She usually says something.
Does she have to cry and show sad emotions first?
Absolutely not. I'm just showing you what her first instincts are. No, it's fact. Her first instinct is to bite back. It's not to even process. It's to one up you. That's her instinct. That's her first layer.
Yeah, that's what many of us like about her.
First layer.
That's how it should be.
I would think my first.
You come at me, I'm not just gonna sit around and let you win. Come on, I'm coming at you hard. I'm not gonna wait till Monday.
But I don't think you would say some of the stuff that she says, would you?
I wouldn't think so, but I'm not in a war. I don't fight no more. I'm done. Okay. So no, me and Joy stopped fighting a long time ago. I wouldn't say that because I have not been in a war where I would need to. But if we are going at it, I'm not gonna sit there and call you strawberry shortcake or vanilla cream puff. I'm gonna go hard.
But I want you to think about this. As opinionated as I am, since you and I have had a lot of tussles, what do you think my first instinct is? My first layer
is that the man is right. That's what I think.
No.
Anything is.
I'm talking about between me and you. If you and I when we argue, and what do you think from what you've known from the arguments we had? I'll ask you that too, Montanique. What do you think my first layer is?
But my answer's not going to change. Your first layer with anything.
You're not going to go dig down dirty.
You're not. I
don't think you're going to hurt me. I will say that. I don't think you're going to do anything.
My instinct is to retreat. That's why I don't.
You're not going to do anything to hurt
That's
me.
That's my natural instinct.
Now you do respond, Joy. You respond. It's just that depending on how the comeback is to whatever you said will kind of determine if you're going to come again. So you might say something, no, I don't agree, or I disagree, or whatever. Now, if somebody shuts up, then it's over. But if I come back with something you don't like, then, in a way you turn into Candiace, but that's just a whole nother thing.
So, okay, listen to this comment. So, and this is why I feel like
nobody's ever said I'm a retreater. I'm a natural runner. It's an unfortunate part of my
Nobody has ever said that. I don't know, Joy. Are people scared of you because you come hard?
Absolutely not. I just
I wouldn't be the one that would be scared.
I've never been a fighter. I'm not a fighter.
I don't believe that though.
Listen, y'all.
I don't believe that though, Joy.
Listen. So listen to this one, because this is why I feel like when y'all talk about Candiace and generational wealth, hers has stipulations on it with her mom. So it's not like she needs to be building wealth outside of that too, because her mom can cut her off in a second. And I think that's what she's doing now. But Angela said if her mommy, she didn't need her mama's money, why did she have a mental breakdown having to scale back that wedding? She had to restructure her nuptials when her mother closed her bank account. What do y'all think about that?
She didn't need her mom's. Did we say she didn't need her money?
I don't think anybody said that. I think she does.
Well, but just to show you how toxic it is, when her mother, when Candiace and Chris bought the house, Candiace is like, it's mine. That she was proud to say, me and my man bought us the house. And her mother said, if that's what they say.
Yeah, she did.
That's her response. So even when it's a just due, like the average mother is usually proud when they child buy their first house independently. That's how toxic it is. She wanted us to get the impression that maybe she was still paying something. Because that's what I left with. I was like, what is Dorothy paying for now?
And that's what I was trying to say. The cow wasn't trying to be mean to her or anything, but it was like she just was still saying the same thing. My mom paid the cell phone bill. I paid this bill. You paid this bill. But can she do it on her own? You know what I mean? When you're building generational wealth, you're going to make sure there's investments. Candace needs to be having investment property, but she don't have to fall back on her mom all the time. Her mom's making it where she depends on her. And that might be generational wealth, but it comes with a cost. It comes with stipulations. It comes with kiss my ass. And that ain't good. That's not good generational wealth, in my opinion. Because my mama could pay my phone. My parents could pay my mortgage. Like, I'm not poor. I didn't come from, you know what I mean?
Hey,
So
can
I'm
I
not
interrupt
rich
y'all
with
a
it.
little bit? I want
Go
to just
ahead.
talk about the health situation.
We got
Now, I'm not
another
picking at
show.
Mia.
Oh, I
don't want to
extended
pick
it.
at
I
Mia.
extended it,
Oh,
Joy. But we do have another
I'm
show.
sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go
I
ahead.
don't want to pick at Mia because I know Mia is a liar and she had that boil on her butt, and that's just what it is. Tell her to wash her butt a little bit better and stop sitting on people's toilets.
You know what?
But I want to talk about this lump situation, and
Okay,
this
go
is
ahead.
a serious talk because
Okay.
we just had a scare in my family with my mom, and we thought my mom had breast cancer because they found small nodules. Also, her breast was leaking fluid as well, and it was red fluid. She ended up having a biopsy. The biopsy did come out benign, thank God, but she got to have a lumpectomy where they got to go in and move some of the tissues. I also look behind it to make sure there's no cancer there. But reason why I'm talking about this lump because I had a talk with the oncologist, and what it made me ask him because I was like, do you think the COVID vaccine or anything has something to do with it? Because it was ironic that my mother and my uncle both had the COVID infusion and both had this problem at the same time. The oncologist told me that they have found studies that showing that the vaccine has developed lumps in a lot of different people under their arms, in their breasts, and things like that. So that's the reason why I wanted to be serious and talk about it, and also talk about the cardiac arrest that's going on as well. And the CDC actually put something out about the vaccine causing that. So I just want to tell people to, go to your doctors, get your heart checked to make sure ain't no plaque, artery clogged up, or anything built up.
Amen.
Also, go get these lumps checked to make sure they're not cancerous and things like that, because this vaccine is causing some of these problems. And the one reason why is because it normally takes about 10 years to develop a vaccine, but we had to do something immediately to try to help save lives. So that's understandable. But still, just go get yourself checked. And I'm wondering, could Mia with her lump, she was saying, in her back and on her arm, could that be the reason for her lump, because maybe she got, vaccinated?
The vaccine. Even with that football player, I feel like when he fell out and had that cardiac thing, I was thinking, I wonder could the virus, because they made them all get all that too. So
well, the CDC has released saying that the vaccine is linked and has been causing cardiac arrest. And there are,
but that's been in young boys. That's been in young men. It hasn't been in women. It hasn't even been a case in women.
Yeah, but it's just sad though. People in their 20s
and it's the people that's been getting those the boosters.
Yeah, the boosters too. I didn't get any of that.
So I just thought it was important for us to talk about that, even though, we're talking about the show, but because Mia has this so-called health scare, like our husband said, the way you interpret it, you are dying.
Right.
But
I mean,
yeah, we got to be.
We didn't talk about.
I don't want nothing to happen to nobody.
Mia and the businesses, but we'll talk about that later because we have to do Jersey next. I extended to 7, but we can go.
Oh, and what she said made sense, by the way. My stepfather has a nonprofit, and he does have board members and investors. Plus, he gets contracts from the state. Yeah. It made sense to me. They don't use that exact verbiage, but there are people. It prevents a corporation, once you have so many investors, to prevent one person from being a king. Basically,
well, that's true, but what doesn't make sense is you do need both parties' signature in order to remove somebody off account, just like you need both parties' signature in order to take money and give
out of
something
account.
out of that same account. So, she was lying.
No, she said they set up their account where it only needed one.
Why would really?
There is no such thing. You cannot do that. If both of their names are on their account, then guess what? Both parties have to have permission to either take their name off.
That's not true. That's actually not true.
But why would you do that, Joy? Because that means I can get
everybody on the panel
The only time you do that if you closing it out or emptying, yes, you might be correct, but not to just take money out. That's neat. So what
Oh
it
no,
does,
yeah, that's true. But I thought
that's
she said to
true.
take his name off. She didn't say
that's
money.
to take money out and to prevent the
That's
other
not what
from.
she said. She said to take his
I
name
get
out.
why they did that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Anything
But
else, people?
mm-mm.
I don't know, honey. This call was longer than I thought. It was only an hour and 30. Y'all follow us. We're about to go on to Jersey. I ain't gonna say much because to me, Jersey ain't all that, but D enjoy, love it. So I'm gonna let them run Jersey. I have a few notes, but not many. But follow our QR code and everything chatter up. And I'm gonna start adding stuff to our podcast again because I got a thing about the ads and we need to add more so we can get ad money. But anyway, anything else, ladies?
Nope.
All right, I'll be back in 2 and 2.